Hello, and welcome to week 4 of English 102, which I hope you're jumping up for joy as I am. We're over halfway through. It's always kind of a good feeling to know that you are heading closer and closer to the finish line. Not that I don't enjoy this class, because I absolutely do immensely, but I also know how it feels as a student to keep hitting those important benchmarks that, we are heading toward the end of something. And at the end, that means that you've earned your credit for this class and you're moving towards your goals. So that's why it's always positive. All right. So I wanted to go over a few things this week. Of course, I want you to start your week off with the lecture. This week's lecture, as kind of the title for the week, Preparing and Pre-Writing, focuses a lot on pre-writing and getting ready to write something that you would write in the workplace. Okay. This lecture, I really like. It was just redone recently, and it has a lot of really great examples of things that you might actually see when you're in your future career on the job, or perhaps even now, depending on where you're working, you may see some of those. So I like that it has like good examples of workplace writing and bad examples. So having both of those is a good way as you're learning to navigate writing in the workplace, because then you can kind of look and compare and say, oh yeah, I wouldn't want something like that sent out. I like the first one better. So this week is, like I said, focused on preparing and pre-writing. So for the discussion, you're going to talk about what you have learned so far in this course about pre-writing, how you would use it, how it would help you organize your resume. So how could pre-writing help you organize your skills, your experience, your education, and what you would want to use in preparing to write your resume? So that'll be your initial post, using pre-writing skills on how to help organize the different categories that you would use in a resume. So, of course, then once you have posted your post by Wednesday, you'll go back and read what your peers have said about how they're preparing for their resume. So hopefully you get ideas. So far in this course, there's been such a great exchange of ideas and really commenting on the content of each other's post. So I really want to commend you for that and look forward to each week continuing that same enthusiasm and same really in-depth discussion. So I really appreciate that, and I give you a big high five for that. So the other assignment, other than the discussion board, is a written business writing assignment. So this is the first one of these we've done so far in this course. Most of them have been quizzes or discussion board or short, like you had the check-in for week 3. But this one is an actual writing assignment. So I just want to remind you that you have, as students here at Bryant and Stratton, you have access to Microsoft 365. So, which is important because you'll be using Microsoft Word to write this assignment. For this week 4 assignment, it is actually 3 different assignments that we'll be doing over the next couple weeks. For week 4, the first part of the business writing assignment is kind of the rough draft. Okay, so if you see here on this part of the assignment details that you've pulled up in Blackboard, that there are 3 different assignments. This first one is the rough draft for the business writing assignment, and I'm going to go through that in a minute. And then parts 2 and 3 will actually take place in a couple of weeks, in week 6. So there'll be 2 parts to that. There'll be, of course, a final draft, because after you turn in this rough draft, I will provide you with some feedback on how to improve your writing. And then the second part will be your reflection, which actually goes as part of your portfolio. So you'll be revising this assignment and then writing a reflection about this whole process from beginning to end and some of the things that we've talked about in the course. So I want to scroll down through here, and this is the document that you have in the week 4 assignments. So you are going to be demonstrating your grammar and mechanics and all the things that we've been talking about and you've been quizzed on. You're going to choose one of the prompts that are down here, kind of the scenarios. You're just going to write about one of these things. The first one is describe a time when your responsibilities became overwhelming. And I want you to think about these all kind of in a workplace context. It may not necessarily be a previous work experience, but if you were in a work experience and you're describing this, like perhaps in an interview or some opportunity to maybe you have a promotion or something, but it's in the context of the workplace. So think about to those emails that we all critiqued and you guys all had really good ideas about how to improve that. So the language and the grammar and the things that you're going to be writing about, you're going to want to have in here because this is still considered a workplace document. So you have describe a time when your responsibilities became overwhelming and how it helped you grow as a person. And the next scenario is write about a time when a project or situation at work did not go as expected and what steps you took to get it back on track. And the third one is describe a time that you took initiative without being asked. So you're going to choose one of these to write about, considering that you are going to be explaining this in a workplace format. It's a workplace document. So you want to have all of the formatting and the language and the grammar and mechanics that you would want to have in a workplace document. So you want to put your best foot forward. And you also want to keep in mind that it is not necessarily a conversation, so you don't want to write as you talk, but as if this was going to be something that you were going to submit in your workplace. Okay? So there's also a rubric on here, and this is what I'll be using to look over your paper. So remember, this first time we're writing it is kind of your rough draft. So I'll be looking at if there are any errors in grammar, mechanics, spelling, anything like that. And then also the actual content, is it organized? Because some of these are talking about telling a certain time. So remember, if you're going to talk about a certain event, it's going to have a beginning, a middle, and an end. And it should be clear to the reader, to your audience, what the event entails and all of the details there. So it has to be well organized, and they're using examples, and you want it to be relevant and detailed. And one thing that I tend to tell students too, even though you're writing about something personal, be careful of overusing personal pronouns. We tend to want to write as we talk, but you want to avoid overusing I or me or my, because this census is a document that we're reading. It becomes a little bit more difficult to read a document where most of the sentences start with I. So that's one of the biggest tips that I have for you on that. And then keep in mind, I'm going to provide you with feedback for this document, and then in week 6, you're going to do 2 more things with this. You're going to correct some of the things that I mentioned, but then also in the next couple weeks, we're going to be talking about how to take any kind of workplace document through a revision process, so that editing and revision. So you are starting to look, well, how can I improve my own writing? Because when I send out documents in the workplace, or I send out emails, that they've gone through that process. So you're going to look at your essay again. I'm going to give you feedback, and then you're going to come up with the final essay. And then that second part that'll be due in week 6 is the reflection part, that you go through, how did you write your rough draft, how did you take the suggestions that I gave you, and how did you take some of the revision that you've learned here in the course to be able to put that document together. And that goes on your e-portfolio, because you're going to do that with most of your classes here at BSC. You have that electronic portfolio. Okay, so this is really one of the biggest assignments that we have so far, and it is, I'm going to go back here at the top, this whole assignment process is worth 15% of your grade, which is quite a bit for your overall thing. So you want to put a lot of focus on this. As always, anytime you have questions, please reach out. I'm happy to help and give encouragement or answer questions at any point, because I want you to do well on this. This is where students tend to kind of want to sometimes it's a stopping point because this is the biggest assignment that we have, and it's also, you know, a written document where most of our stuff have been discussion boards and quizzes. So I encourage you to hang with it. You know, do your best and at least submit some kind of document, and then we'll be able to work together so you can do well and get these assignments completed. Oh, I already have a blank document started. So you're going to write directly in Word, and you're going to start writing about your scenario. Okay. Pick one of those that's in the assignment directions. Okay, so and then you're going to save this, and then this is what's going to get uploaded to Blackboard. So let me go back a minute. So when you open this document, which we were just looking at it, so then you've already created your other document, saved it, named it. You can say like week 4 business writing assignment, and sometimes it's kind of nice to have identifier like your last name. Oh. Try that again. I closed everything. Okay, so when you're ready to submit it, you're going to click this button, and it's going to say, I don't want you to write this submission. This is a no. Okay, again, this is the same thing we looked at. You are going to attach file. So you're going to browse your computer, or if you saved it to cloud storage, that's fine too. But one of these you're going to select. So if I was going to do that, I would come up and then I'd be able to select my document. Okay, like you would be. You can write a comment here if you want to do that, and then you would hit submit. Okay, so you will not be using this one. This is a no. You're going to attach a file, either browse my computer or browse cloud storage. I don't think you would have a reason to use content collection because that would be from something different. For this course, we're not using that. So it'd be one of these two things. So if you go to this Getting Started page, there are, well, let's just click on it. There are tutorials that tells you how to do that, how to submit assignments. So there's a little video here that you can pull up and watch if you're not certain on how to submit a document. Okay? So you are welcome to use that. So let's get back on our course real quick. So week 4, we just have the one written assignment, and I went through the steps on how to use Word, and so you're going to use that to submit it to this Dropbox right here. All right, so if you have any questions, be sure to reach out. Again, also you can go to that Get Started page. So that takes you to the, there's a video that shows you how to upload a document. Or if you have any questions about Microsoft 365, I also have that listed on this week's announcements. It's been there every week, but you may not have noticed it. And there's a document on how to do that. And then, of course, you can also contact the help desk if you need Microsoft 365 help. So awesome. I hope you have a great week, and I will see you in class.